Welcome back to the Third Wheel Podcast, where I'm your host, Shaps, joined with
Caleb.
And-
He does it different every single time. Sometimes he'll set it up where I'm supposed to say my name, and then he'll be like, Caleb, like interrupt me.
Yet again with our amazing guest, Seth.
Hey,
Yeah.
Welcome back.
glad to be back, man. It's been a long time.
Yeah, very long. Like
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was the longest 3 minutes of my entire life.
Week.
But no, yeah, man, it's cool. Like we just got done with that first one. You're like, you got another one in you?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Okay.
Sometimes people are like, all right, I'm going. You know,
Some
Yeah.
people got to go immediately.
I'm just like, no, come
Yeah.
on.
And did y'all ride
Roll.
together?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say like if you got to go, like I understand.
No,
but
yeah.
no, sweet.
He actually doesn't live or he lives further, but his car is closer than.
Yeah, it's
thought
like
originally,
right over yonder.
Was it at the wrong address?
Well,
Where to cut
He,
this out?
he sent me the address.
Listen, I was not having a good day. And
But-
traffic was super slow.
He just
Yeah.
suddenly forgot where
I
we
sent him the wrong address and I punched the wrong address into my phone. I'm like, oh crap, how do I do this without Seth noticing?
Hey, you did a great job.
Yeah, we
I
kept
had
the
no
conversation
idea.
going.
I didn't notice till you told me.
All right.
Yeah.
No.
This is
Well,
all a shock to me.
today we're going to be talking about yet again corporations.
Major
good stuff. Major corporations.
Actually, former major corporations.
Formerly major corporate, formerly known as major. So Caleb just told me a interesting little factoid. Red Lobster has filed for bankruptcy. Ooh,
Yeah.
everyone's favorite lobster.
Now, do y'all know anything about bankruptcy?
Other than it
You
doesn't.
declare it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you declare. You don't shout it. Shout out to the office.
Yeah.
Basically, other than the fact that when you declare bankruptcy, that doesn't mean you're done immediately. There's a few more steps, almost like impeachment. There's a few more steps.
Sure. It was funnier when
Yes.
you said it off camera, but I know where you're getting at.
You know what?
I like
you
where
didn't
you're
have
going.
to point
When I
it
was
out.
a kid, I thought I had the best idea for a brand of mints.
Okay.
And it was like legitimate.
Mhm.
And
Took me a second.
and then like if we were gonna like really branch out, it would be impeachment.
Oh,
And just like whatever had mint at the
Dude.
end of it, I was like, oh, this
Bro.
is gold.
that's brilliant.
Anyway,
What are you doing?
Wow.
dude,
What are you doing in the music industry?
I don't know, man.
Should be selling mints.
Yeah.
And just have one called the Mint, and it's
Yeah.
like dollar green.
Yeah, it's mint condition.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the skinny of it.
Okay.
The gist, which is ironic because I'm not skinny at all.
That's funny.
So they filed for bankruptcy. Again, it doesn't mean that you're toast,
Yeah.
right? It doesn't mean you're done, right?
Yep.
But it helps you with like managing debt better, consolidating.
Destroys your credit.
Yeah, absolutely. If you declare bankruptcy, good luck ever getting a house,
Yeah.
right? But especially in this market,
Right.
it's hard enough with a good credit score.
Yeah.
But
No joke.
so, it's funny and ironic in a way how what ended up contributing to their filing for bankruptcy.
Okay.
They lost money on their endless shrimp deal.
No.
Yeah. So in June 2023, they did a deal that this was to attract customers, and it did essentially. But it's estimated that they lost like around like $11 million on their shrimp deal because people came in and were like, okay, I'll pay the $10 shrimp
Yeah.
fee. And then they ate all the shrimp and they ate up all the inventory and they
my
lost money
gosh.
on the deal. You know what I mean? And so that's what's leading stuff like that. But that's one of the big ones.
Yeah.
But stuff like that's what's contributing.
That's the only things that kept them in relevancy.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
bad.
Right. You know, that and their cheddar biscuits, you know. When was the last time y'all been to Red Lobster, by the
I've
way?
had their cheddar biscuits before. Those are good.
They
But
sell them at
Yeah.
stores.
I've never ever been to a Red
It's
Lobster.
probably Joplin, Missouri, 2016.
Yeah.
I tell you, in Rolla, Missouri,
Mhm.
Red Lobster was the fancy restaurant.
Yeah, man.
You know what I
That's
mean?
what slapped. Yeah.
I bet you that now, though. you've been to-
Wait. Okay. Just real quick. You're telling me that Red Lobster in a state where seafood is king. That's
Missouri?
the place.
Missouri?
You were talking about how you had seafood, right?
Yeah.
They had good fried catfish.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's not seafood. That's river food.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's creek.
Gotcha. Because I'm just about to say, like,
Those
okay,
are bottom
I'm from New
dwellers.
Orleans, where seafood is king, right? And Red Lobster would be laughed out of town. So,
Right.
Well,
No,
ironically,
yeah.
they're getting laughed out of the country.
Yeah, I'd say
Endlessly.
like especially for all of us small town folk that
Yeah.
live like 30 minutes away.
Mm.
It's like, oh yeah, like if we're gonna treat ourselves, we're going to
Go
the
to
Red,
Red
Lobster.
Lobster.
I'm telling you. You know,
Wow.
and like when you're a kid, and Walmart used to do this, you
Yeah.
know, and I don't think this was a COVID thing. I think this was but they used to have the lobster tanks
Oh
at
yeah,
Walmart.
dude.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love those. I mean, they were sad, but also kind of interesting. At the
Were
same
they
time.
sad though?
I was sad.
Because they had an audience. They had the kids. They had the.
Okay, that's like right before a public execution. They bring a school trip to like look at the guy who's about to die. Like, I don't know if that's like,
What?
well, like that's what the lobsters are. They're about to be cooked and dead.
Oh, okay.
I'm with you, Seth. What?
So like a whole bunch of kids are like tapping on the glass, like watching
yeah.
this poor lobster. who's
They
about
look
to be
like
boiled.
Darla from Finding Nemo.
And sometimes, okay, especially like
up.
especially like Walmart's, you know, they're just kept in, they're kept in poor condition. So it's like, man, this is just sad.
Yeah, I was about to say because I was really bad at cleaning the fish tank when I was a kid. I
you
can imagine the Walmart
a
employees.
minimum wage, just like disgruntled employee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Like-
mean, yeah. Then they had like all the other fish tanks there too, like the little
It's so sad to look at.
Customer,
glowfish and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'd say customer service in general has taken a nosedive.
Oh yeah.
So, how many of y'all, when y'all call a doctor's office or call somebody that you need to make an appointment with, they don't answer and you leave a voicemail? How many times do they call you back? Do you actually get voicemails back?
Ooh, no.
Okay, I don't think it's a
don't.
matter of like, do they call you back? It's a matter of how long it takes for them to call
Right.
you back.
They don't call me back.
Really? I
don't get
I have to
anything.
wait like a week usually.
That's still terrible, but at least they call you.
Yeah, they don't
Or-
get called.
But like a week's unacceptable because you can just call back the next day at a different time and
And
they'll
then it would
answer.
work, yeah.
Yeah. But when's the last time you got a voicemail returned back to you?
Oh gosh. Well, from like any corporation, probably never.
Right. Right.
Like from friends.
Try
sure,
it again.
but-
Try calling your local Walmart now. Since we're on the Walmart topic.
I've left my number with a corporation that actually it was like an urgent matter. I was like, okay, something's breaking in my workplace. I need it fixed right now. And they're like, okay, well, leave us your number, and then we'll call back to you with a specialist. I never got that call back.
And that's the thing too. Is like I'll talk to a real person. It's not like that it
Yeah.
beeped and then I left a voicemail. It's
Yeah,
like I
no.
talked to someone who took my number down. I left a message, and I didn't get anything back. And this was like a doctor's office. This wasn't like this wasn't McDonald's.
Yeah.
This wasn't like a big major corporation. Like, hey, I need you to call me back. This was like. This was like a tiny place. It's like, how hard
Sure.
would it have been to like answer my question and call me back?
Especially like a clinic where like they need that business,
Yeah.
really bad.
No, they
so.
don't need it. They're ripping off the insurance agencies, which is in turn ripping us off.
They're
But-
they're ripping off doctors, dude.
They're doing fine.
I don't know about that. Like the small clinics, dude.
Uh-huh.
Doctors are absolutely being ripped off by the insurance companies because they actually make a lot more money if you don't go through insurance, and because essentially what they go through insurance in order to make up all the fees that they're charged, they have to see like double or triple the patient sometimes, and basically that means that they spend less time with you, and they give you like there's more chance essentially for error. And essentially, if you were to go with them specifically, like the doctors, a lot of doctors are turning away from insurance for that reason, so they can spend more time with their patients, but also so they can actually charge more.
Here's the thing. I actually may not know. I will disclaim this. I probably don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. But if I was a private practitioner, I would almost rather go through insurance because at least I'm getting a check. Whereas when you take a chance with a client who may not pay their bills,
Yeah,
then you get nothing and you did the service.
true.
You know what I'm saying?
then you have to go sue them, and that's like, it's
Exactly.
private. Yeah,
And you're not going to get anything. Because
luck.
like
Dude.
someone who's not paying their bills, you sue them and you win in court. You're not going to get money from them because they didn't have money to begin with. Otherwise, they would have paid
Yeah.
you. You know what I'm saying?
and then like the legal fees,
It's a vicious
gonna,
cycle,
the
man.
legal fees are going to take you down anyway.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
No, I'm not saying like one way or the other. In fact, I actually don't believe in going to a doctor who doesn't take insurance, but only because it's just the economy, dude. Like you have to understand, like everyone is in their own spot. Like this is the system. You don't have to love it, but this is the system that we live in. So. Can either complain about it or be unrealistic and try to shake the boat, like to the point where it tips over.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, Seth, were you gonna say something or
No.
Okay, perfect. I'm glad. So yeah, have you tried to go to the doctor through insurance or anything? It sucks.
It's terrible.
It's awful. Like
Yeah.
that you're there. Oh man. So I've been trying to get a sleep test done for a long time.
Yeah.
And I had to get a referral from my physician.
You got the apnea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I got the app for
The
the
app.
for the sleep,
Yeah.
or lack
Nia.
thereof.
Okay.
So you can't just walk up to a clinic and say, "Hey, do you take my insurance?" You have to
Yeah.
go through a general physician, which already took a month.
Yeah.
That was the earliest they could see me. It was like a month to go to the doctor for them to write me a prescription to go see the sleep doctor. Okay, that was a month. So from that time, and here's another thing, I had to call the office because they forgot to send the referral. I had to call them again Monday and remind them. Okay, they finally did it, and then to go see the sleep doctor. This wasn't the sleep test. This was to go get another checkup, which was the same as the first checkup, but this time with the sleep doctor. That was a 2-month wait. 2 months. So I'm suffering sleep-wise. 2 months.
Yeah.
Then I finally go in. It's a 5-second checkup. 2 months I'm waiting on this. I'm like, please, for the love of God, don't cancel. I'm begging you because then it's another 2-month wait. I go in there. I fill out the 500-question packet.
Right.
They see me. They ask me 5 questions out of the packet. Same thing I just filled out. So why'd I bother filling it out?
Yeah.
Right. And then I was like, okay, cool. We'll get you in a sleep test, which was, again, another month. So that's next week, finally. Right. But we're looking at like probably about a 6-month process so I can sleep. Because I don't sleep good. When I'm sleeping, I'll be like out of nowhere, like just full on gas. Like I stop breathing and I wake up. Like you swear I just had a Vietnam flashback. You know what I mean? And it's awful. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I know people that go in for surgeries, they're in pain. It's not an emergency yet, but they're like, okay, before we even do the sonogram or the test, it's like, we'll see you from, like, let's say this was a month ago. We'll see you in September for the checkup. And they're actively in pain. And it's like, what are you supposed to,
Okay.
you know?
That's a good story I can bring up. So when I had my kidney stone a few years ago, and the stories are true, it is probably the most unimaginable, worst kind of pain that at least I know women can get it too, but like most men get it at least once in their life. It is so freaking terrible. And you actually get the mental image of like, I just want to die. Like it's that bad. Just kill me now. Because it literally feels like someone's stabbing you and twisting the knife in your gut for a full week.
And it has to go through your genitals.
Yep, it does. But if it's too big.
Yeah, we got to scalp you to the bad side.
If it's too big, they have to get a laser and break it up.
Yep.
So then you got multiple pee out.
little pebbles. Well, mine was like just small enough to where I had to pee it out, but big enough to be like
the most painful thing ever.
Yeah, I'm like, dang.
I'm very blessed. I've not had kidney stones
Dude,
yet.
I'm starting to get the heebie-jeebies, man.
One day, I just woke up.
Legs.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is the worst month of my. I mean, I'm talking about like never stopping for a week straight, not being able to sleep because you're in that much pain, moaning and groaning like the entire time. Like I literally just like, what is this? So eventually, my parents took me to the ER, so I still live with them, and this was peak COVID time. So there was a nurse staff shortage, which means I had to wait. I think I waited 4 to 6 hours, probably 6 hours actually in the ER, just writhing in pain. I think it was in the middle of the night too, just writhing in pain, like unimaginable pain. While I just sat there, and then like, now this is the ER, mind you, so it's a little bit different. Usually it's a longer wait, but like that is so crazy. And then they did a CAT scan, and basically all they told me was, you just got to wait it out. Yeah, it was nothing we can do. We could get a laser, but it's small enough to where it could just come out itself.
Well, did they give you anything for like pain?
No.
Oh my god!
They said it's so close to its end of the life cycle anyway, it wouldn't be really like worth it. So
can I ask you how much they charged you?
Yeah, like I think it was like $1,200 or something.
Okay, that's not bad.
Well, for that though, I'm just like,
it's still.
It was because of the stupid CAT scan. That's why.
No, it sucks. Definitely. Like I'd rather have $1,200.
It was. Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't like thousands and thousands. But after it. But sorry, if I didn't have insurance, it would have been like $20,000.
Yeah,
which is like, imagine paying that by yourself. Because what doctors want to do now is like give you their own payment plans. I'm like, no, thank you. So thank God for insurance. But legitimately, it stung. Like it really hurt when I had to like actually get it out of me, but it was not compared, believe it or not. I mean, not everyone's like this, but it wasn't compared to the entire week of agony I had to go through.
Yeah.
Like, that was worse than anything.
Did you hear it like plop in the water? Is it like?
I saw it.
Okay.
Or
is it like so microscopic?
Once you
I'm just thinking about like
once you pee out a little blood, it happened,
okay.
and then like so much relief, and you're like, oh, it's gone.
I bet you were sweating.
Like,
You're
yes,
like,
and legitimately,
dude.
like,
you probably
I was at my
crying.
parents' house at the time. I was like, okay, if I go to the bathroom at any point right now, just know that this is the time. And sure enough, it happened. I had to pee so much, like over and over
Oh
and
yeah,
over again.
dude. Yeah.
My grandfather, actually, his was so freaking big. He freaking put it in a case. Like he put it behind glass as like a trophy, basically.
Oh my god. Yeah.
$50 if
Hung
you
it on his mantelpiece.
Yes, I don't know where it went, but
yeah. $50
Dude.
Seth. If he worked with you in music, he'd have taken it out. And
Oh, yeah, let me put it
Ew.
in my shaker. My
No.
dude, yeah. But it's so funny when you're talking about like just letting it, peeing it
Yeah.
out. Like I always think of just like a stone, and I imagine it like skipping across.
Boop, boop, boop. Hey, I got it.
Yeah.
I got 3 skips. No, I never knew, because I remember growing up, I was like terrified because there was a Seinfeld episode with a kidney stone. Kramer gets a kidney stone. And I was terrified of that.
Yeah.
And then I actually got one, and I was like, it's exactly what it feels like, a jagged stone, basically, of calcium buildup that just has to make its way slowly tearing apart your insides until it goes out. Yep. Thanks God.
Gosh.
I blame
it's-
Adam and Eve for the fall.
I don't even
Yeah,
think
right?
I don't even think it's like because of like man-made chemicals or crap or anything. Literally, it's like it just happened. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing you can do to really prevent it.
Right.
People say
They
if
say-
you drink too much
yeah.
tea, but actually I tripled my tea intake after that because I love tea, and I haven't had it since. So
Right.
I don't know if
and
that's
they
true.
say like if you drink like what's the most acidic juice you can have? Like if you drink like a
lot of soda.
yeah, well, soda bad for you, but
But
that's-
you know what okay, soda and like tea is acidic, but like I think soda is the biggest one
no,
that typically gives what?
I'm saying the acid breaks it up before, and that's the best
Oh, that's
preventer.
a myth.
Oh, okay, well, never mind.
I
I guess
asked
I'm just waiting it out.
Busted.
No, I asked the doctor that, and he
Yeah.
said, "Well, soda's bad because it dehydrates you, and that can actually form the kidney stone."
Well, I was thinking more so like a natural
When you-
juice. Like a very
Okay,
acidic.
so, no, I haven't heard that before, but I have heard that beer and soda will help break it up. But I asked the doctor if there's anything you can do, and he's like, "No, really, you just have to go through it.
Gosh.
There's no real like known remedy. Like there's a myths out there, but like nothing is known. But like do this, and it will help break it out. It's one of those things like you just gotta man it out." I became a man that day.
Yeah.
I sound like a girl, but I manned that. I manned it out.
It'll be the coffin.
Oh, damn! But that is like a rite of passage. I'm sorry.
I'm
but
good.
because I had to go through it, Caleb.
I guess I'm a woman.
I'm not praying this over you, but you got to go over
Good
it.
I don't want
lo-
to.
Yeah, dude. The
My dad
weirdness
had
that
3.
I feel right now,
My dad
like,
had 3 in his life.
oh, dude, the tingle I got going on right now, it's just like
Yeah. Well, now I know how I feel when people start talking about pregnancy. I'm just like,
When I was a
"Oh."
kid,
yeah.
I was so worried about peeing out blood, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, but that's not a real
That's a
thing.
myth. That's a
Yeah,
it can't
it doesn't
happen.
happen. And then one time I was at the doctor and she says, I think I was like 12. She's like, okay, so when you pee, do you ever notice a little bit of blood when you pee? I was like, that's a thing.
You're just joking with me,
Yeah.
doc.
Right? You're not serious, right?
Oh, one of the worst doctor experiences I had as a kid was like I was with this doctor, and like I forgot it was like a general checkup, I think, and I said how like when I get stressed out, my throat feels like it closes up, and I feel like I can't breathe very well, I get really angry, stressed out. You know what he told me?
What?
Don't get stressed. I was like, and I was
Doc.
like, I wanted to punch him in the face.
You got that
so
stress
bad.
ball.
Yeah.
Here. It helps.
It's like, how do you recommend that,
I'm just
doctor?
like, you know what? I get I'm a stupid kid and you need to say something, but like treat me like an adult. I just asked an adult question, please.
He doesn't know what that looks like. So I go and talk about back to COVID related stuff. So
okay.
I would say COVID is probably what ended up really killing Red Lobster. There were a lot of
Oh wait, Red Lobster.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Red Lobster.
yeah.
Okay.
So we're going back to. I want to go back to that a bit because it's a part of a better, broader
Yeah.
topic that I would like to speak on.
Okay.
But I want to talk about how like it killed small businesses, COVID,
Sure.
and it gave major corporations a big pass.
Oh, yeah.
To treat us how they want to treat us.
Oh yeah.
So here's a thing. Walmart, they quit doing 24-hour service, right?
Yep.
They used to be open 24 hours, not anymore. And that was their thing.
Yep.
You
Right.
could go to Walmart at 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
forever.
Yep.
like decades.
Yep.
You know, I guess I don't know when Walmart was founded, but we have to be coming up close on a century now, right? And COVID, it's done.
Yep.
They don't do it anymore.
Right.
I think Chick-fil-A used to stay open later, right?
I don't know about later, but most restaurants now are closing at 9.
Yeah.
They didn't used to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 10, not 11.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think to be fair, I mean, it's not like they were getting a whole lot of business anyway.
I disagree.
Oh, dude, what?
Yeah, I disagree.
You think
At
there was
3 in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Do you think
Bro.
they got at least 25% of their customers?
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about
Because that's the
25.
only time. That's the only amount.
I can't speak for Walmart.
That's
here.
the only amount that I think would justify.
Like I'm
it.
even
Well,
like
here's the-
I'm more so speaking on behalf of the Lord's Chicken, Chick-fil-A.
Right.
Like you know, like you don't get a certain amount of customers usually and so it's like, okay, do we
That's fair.
take better care of our people and let them go home?
or they
and-
don't.
Well, here's another one. Here's another big one.
Mm.
So McDonald's quit serving all day breakfast,
Yeah.
I
And-
know.
and I didn't know that until I went and tried to get some.
Right.
Because right before COVID, like 3 years before COVID, they did the all day menu, which came with its own controversy. Let me tell you,
Right.
because they
You-
didn't.
Sorry, go ahead.
They didn't release the foods you wanted. They
Oh,
did
yeah.
like the not even the McMuffins, the biscuits, right?
Uh-huh.
I was like, nobody wants that. Like we want the McGriddles, we want the McMuffins.
Yeah,
McGriddles are
the stuff that
bomb,
takes
dude.
time to make.
I want all day bagels. All right. So eventually they shifted to where, hey, the breakfast menu, the whole menu,
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah.
And now
That's great.
it's gone.
Yep.
And you know why? I looked it up. COVID. And I was like, what does COVID have to do with you throwing a McGriddle in the skillet and cooking it? You know? You have any
Yeah.
thoughts on that? And what were you gonna say?
I can't remember.
Okay,
Maybe
that's
maybe
fair.
they were maybe honestly it was costing them. I don't know how, but maybe it was costing them, and they were like, okay, we're just gonna use COVID as an excuse, or that had something to do with closing down earlier or everything, and it just wasn't. I don't know. That's a hard one.
McDonald's is still 24 hours.
Maybe
Yeah.
they were getting less inventory
Yeah.
because I guess transportation, like even though that was essential service,
yeah.
like
What changes at 11 a.m. or what? No, I'm sorry, they close at 10:30.
no,
for
I'm saying
breakfast.
what if truck drivers, there was a truck driver shortage, like what if that, even though that was an all-time high, there was a shortage because the demand skyrocketed. So maybe that was a way to cut corners essentially, was to cut down on the all-day breakfast. So like breakfast items, they have to
Yeah.
get that stuff in. So if there's a shortage essentially, then like, yeah, they can't get that.
Yeah, I'd say the easiest answer is like it had to be a money thing
right.
that it's not happening
I think it's a
anymore.
greedy.
Yeah.
We're saving money thing.
Yeah, either we're saving it or like we're not, like we're cutting even and we're not making money.
Yeah, I don't think
We're
it was
just making people happy, but friggin' screw that. We need to make the
I don't think it
the
was
money.
agreed. I mean, like very often, like rarely, there are these instances
You're
where
giving
like
major corporations a lot of credit here.
where
guys.
these companies won't like do, because again, they're the Red Lobster. Like they did something to stay relevant
They
and to
tried.
make people happy, and they kept that, but it was killing them.
Yeah.
Like a good business, you should really know, like what is like your demographic,
know it.
obviously, but also what is
And
like
that's fair.
costing you. It's like McDonald's. Maybe it was, maybe right, Seth. Maybe it was costing them to the point where it's like it's not financially viable. Yeah, it's making everyone happy, but at the same time, if we're not here in
Yeah.
2 years, like what's the point? So they have to make money. That's what they're here for. Now, like companies getting greedy, honestly, I don't really see fast food corporations doing it that much unless it's like jumping up their prices ridiculously. Like with McDonald's, it may or may not be. I don't know the financial books about that. However, when I see like a greedy corporation, I'm thinking people like Apple who are like, let's freaking corner the market with our own particular chargers, that you always have to buy that are not that don't
Right.
come with the phone. Like
Let's make this
those are-
new update that'll ruin their old phone.
super greedy. That's a greedy business practice. That doesn't actually you don't need to do that to make more money. Well, it does make them more money, but it's like you don't need to do that. You're already the biggest corporation in the world. So it's like,
I have the 3rd generation iPad.
yeah,
Right. Then it was called the new iPad. It wasn't iPad 3. There was
Yeah.
iPad 2, and then the
Mhm.
new iPad.
Yeah.
It was stupid. But I had it and I used it forever. Like all through college.
Yeah.
That was my toy.
yeah,
And now they stopped supporting it.
yep.
And you can't watch YouTube on it. You can't
Mhm.
really pull up articles. It's slow. And now, granted, like stuff wears and tears. Like I'm not just gonna
For
blame
sure.
Apple. Like I get
Yeah.
that, but like you said, that update where they're
Mhm.
like, hey, that thing you bought that comes with a lifetime guarantee.
Yeah.
We lied. It doesn't work anymore.
Well, it will turn on,
yeah.
but yeah, that's all it's gonna really do.
It's like an old person. Like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you'll still be alive, but your quality of life not gonna be that great.
By the way, you have kidney stones.
Not again.
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
No, so, Jude, like I know you're not really into big gamer, Seth, but like as far as like greedy corporations go, like the gaming industry is hitting the tech industry as a whole, but like
The first thing that came to my mind was Helldivers 2. Did you see what's going on with that?
I saw that. Basically,
Yeah.
they're requiring you to sign in with your Sony license now.
Yep. And if you don't have a PlayStation, too bad. Make a Sony account.
And also like who was it? I think it was Ubisoft who was like, yeah, we basically want to take away people's ability to own games. We
Yep.
want it to be all streaming.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a steady cash flow essentially. So you don't buy physical games anymore.
Yeah.
And also the digital games you buy aren't yours.
Yeah.
We own them and we can take them off the market. Essentially
Ugh.
there's a it was
It's
like,
awful.
it was a game called The Crew. I think it was Ubisoft. It was a driving game. It was a race, like a driving game, and everyone loved it. But The Crew 2 came out. People didn't really like that, so they went back to
Right.
Crew 1. Well, then they took Crew 1 off the library of everyone who owned it. You can't even access it anymore.
That sucks.
Even though you bought it, you can't access it anymore.
Oh, I'd be suing the crap out of them.
Well, like they did it. And it's like they said, yeah, that's going to be our standard business practice from now on. And everyone, all the corporations, like, well, if they're doing it and getting
Yep.
away with it, we can do it. And honestly, if we can just keep it out of people's hands, essentially, like that brings down piracy. People, if we don't get physical copies out, at least a little bit. And also, like, it controls what people have. So, like, if they want to buy this game, okay, they can buy this game, but we can stream it to you for a much cheaper price, or part of it, make it a bundle, or we make that the only way you can buy a game now, where you don't even buy it, you just stream it now, like Netflix does.
Yep.
You know, like no different essentially.
Right.
It's
I
like,
mean, there are people ripping Netflix series and, uploading them.
so
I mean, I was
People-
one of them for the
so people
longest
love
time.
Game Pass and
Yo-ho.
stuff like that, but Game Pass was actually like the earliest iteration of what this business model is.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, like if every corporation, every industry could freaking do that to where they can just put everything on streaming, so where they don't have to exhaust any resources to physical media. They can all do it digital, where it costs them virtually nothing to produce. Yeah, why wouldn't you do that?
And that's the thing. We probably already accepted the terms of agreement
Yeah.
whenever we did
Have
it.
you ever has anyone ever read one of those
Nope.
things? Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's like one of those things too. It's like, all right, if you actually did read it, I mean, more than likely, I'm still gonna be like, man,
what are you gonna do? Decline it? You already bought the game.
Right, like-
right.
It's like, okay, cool. I can just decline it, and now I don't have the game.
Yep.
Anyways, yeah, dude, it's weird, man. It's weird times.
Yeah.
Strange days.
And I'm not endorsing this at all, but I can understand why some people would go the ARG route. You know what I'm saying?
the what route?
The ARG
Yo-ho,
route.
yo-ho.
Oh.
Jolly, jolly.
Yeah,
Jolly
iPad.
Roger.
dude, for sure.
The
I,
hat.
I completely understand
For
that.
sure.
Now,
Sailing the
obviously,
seven
there are some
seas.
people who are like, go, it's way too far with it and try
Yeah.
to redistribute and sell it.
Right,
But there are some
Right.
people who are like, this is their only way,
right.
essentially.
Yeah,
just saying-
dude. Wherever there's rules, there's always gonna be someone
yeah.
there to break them.
Yeah.
So sorry. Yeah.
I mean, if I'm gonna do it, I may as well look the part. So let's put the beard on, put
Yeah.
on the fake leg.
Yeah, dude.
I'm Piggy
Right.
the pirate.
Right.
Excuse me.
Wow. That's good stuff. So poor Red Lobster. They're
Yeah.
sinking.
And honestly, I'm part of the problem because I never eat there. However, if they're still doing endless shrimp until
I'll go right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I say-
you guys want to hit up Red Lobster?
I'm just saying. You know where I want to hit up, and we need to do a video on this.
What?
Okay, we need to. Did you see my McDonald's video where I was like, Big
Yeah, I
Mac?
saw that. It was good.
I thought it was pretty good. So
like
I want to
that.
do the same thing with Long John Silver's because we
right.
talked about this.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Nobody
okay.
actually eats there.
Right. It's like how? Yeah. Every time we pass one down the road, like,
I bet they're
Huh?
wondering why Red Lobster.
How?
How is Red Lobster? Why are we going out of business? But Long John Silver's is
How are they still
afloat.
open?
They're still afloat.
When's the last time Long John Silver's offered me free anything?
So we were
Right.
talking about this, and Caleb actually likes Long John Silver's.
I do.
I've never been there, but I'm like, yeah, how do they exist?
right.
How do they exist?
Now
yeah.
there's the joke that they're a front, right? And in 3, 2, 1, we're back and we're live.
Could you do that one more
I just smacked the crap out of this microphone.
Alright.
You do it. I'll stop it.
Oh, we both have to.
You both have.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
3, 2, 1. We are back.
Nailed it.
We're not live. Now, see, that's something you can keep in there. That was funny. You know what I mean? But
I think it's charming.
All right.
Gosh.
Okay.
Audience, please let us know.
Yeah. For real. What do you guys? If you made it this far,
Put it in the comments.
yeah, let us know. You know, maybe this week will blow up.
Yeah.
Okay, because we're getting there. Our audience is getting pretty high. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie to you. That's for a crappy podcast. 300 subs almost is pretty dang
It's
good.
pretty neat.
And we're gonna keep going.
Good for you guys, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew, but we only started last year.
Last January.
Yeah, last
So,
January.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
not
it
bad
took
at
us a
all.
full year to get 100, and then since then we've gotten
Just
200 more.
yeah, that's great.
So I'm
man.
like,
Yeah.
that's really good.
Yeah,
Hey, we keep talking about Long John Silver's. We're gonna make it.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
dude.
So
We're gonna
Hush
go the way of
puppies.
Long John Silver's, not Red Lobster.
yeah. No, back to Long John Silver's though.
I can afford that.
Yeah. When's the last time you could afford the Red Lobster?
Yeah.
So I want to do a video. Long John Silver's. We go, and it's everybody's we're with's first time. Okay.
Okay.
And I think I could do a short where I'm narrating it like I did the McDonald's.
Oh, and you're
one.
gonna kind of build our meals for us. Like, okay,
No,
you're gonna get
build
this.
what the hell? What kind of place do you think this is?
No, what I'm saying is like you're
I want
gonna
to build a fish.
No, no. Basically, you're gonna be like, okay, you're gonna buy our meals, and
Yeah.
then be like, this is what you're eating. This is
I
what
want
you're
no. I
eating.
want you to get what you want to get.
Okay.
I'm gonna get what I like. Okay. And we can maybe we can trade. Like I only just recently started liking hush puppies,
Oh,
Hush
dude.
puppies are amazing.
Yeah.
which are like. Do you like them or no?
I love them.
Yeah.
It's sinful not to where I'm from.
Well, when I was a kid, like I didn't like them. Right? I didn't like how they.
Do you know the
tasted.
story behind hush puppies? All right, so
I
back
want
in
to hear
the,
it.
so back in the day,
Mm.
during slave ownership times,
I was
Yeah.
smiling. Sorry,
bad.
I
No,
Now you're
now
laughing.
this is what I took a tour in South Carolina, and this is what they said. So it was at a plantation, and the plantation workers, you know, slaves had this like the slave headquarters and stuff like that, and usually at night they would like go out and run. Like if they were ever going to have like a time to get together, it was always at night, so they didn't get in trouble and all that stuff. And they had what they used was extra cornmeal, and they would like ball it up, and because there was usually dogs out there like that would bark at them, and this would be like hush puppies, hush puppy, and then they'd throw the
Oh
ball out,
my
and then
gosh.
there it is, hush puppy.
So, at what point did someone just start eating it?
I was like, dang, this dog food's
So
amazing.
hungry.
Yeah.
So that's all you're eating is glorified dog food. So enjoy that.
Thanks. I'll eat.
And then
more now.
welcome to Long John Silver's.
I'm just gonna start barking.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, imagine the waiter. It would is so embarrassed, man. We'd keep it on camera. Okay, I'd make sure your face is in it. But if the
Good
waiter
luck.
has to come up to you and go hush puppy and throw you one, then that's going on YouTube.
I don't know when Long John Silver's ever had waiters, but it sounds magical.
Yeah, you're right. They don't have waiters. But
The cook in the back's like,
yeah. But I think it's worth a try. Okay, I think at some point when I'm not dieting, okay,
Yeah.
and we take this little field trip to Long John, put the camera there. There's no one there, I bet you, right? And except the worker.
Oh no, dude! I don't want to end up on one of those cringe videos.
If that's how we get famous,
No,
then so be it.
where we post it and it's like we accidentally film a fight of someone, you know, like this starts up. and we're like-
Admittedly, that's not how I want to go viral either. But
viral is viral, boys.
you
we
know,
don't- we didn't choose the thug life.
now that you brought that up, like anytime we talk about like a big YouTuber or a celebrity, like I've been tagging them in our videos, hoping that they tweeted us, like I'm going to sue you. You know, like yes, we got noticed.
Yeah.
Because you know how much I'd milk. We talked about Drake Bell a couple months ago, and I'd milk the crap out of that. Jake Bell is suing me, you know, and then I just be making all those types of videos.
100%.
He told me to quit talking about him, and I ain't doing it. Like you know,
So I'm not any better, but Caleb. Well, we've come to an agreement. We will sell out first chance we get. 100%.
oh yeah, first chance of me not having to work again. Because this ain't work.
By the way,
I mean,
have you
it
ever played
is,
Raid
but-
Shadow Legends?
You ever watched Jamari? I know I've asked you that. I think you said no.
No, I have not.
So Jamari, he's like big. He's very good at transitioning to ads.
Yeah.
Like he'll be talking about a guy who, let's say, got his identity stolen, right? And so
Yeah.
it's a legit story that like just happened, and he'll be
Yeah.
like, "But you know what? He could have done better to protect his identity. You know, he should have joined this sponsor." And then he'll just like a seamless transition.
Mr. Nightmare does the same thing,
Well done.
actually.
Yeah.
He'll do like, that was a very scary story of that hacker who found that person's address.
Yeah.
But if he had NordVPN,
yeah, yeah. It's like that's great. Like
Yeah.
that's quality stuff. Like I
I,
almost.
I like it when they have the little progress bar at the top, where it's like, this is how long the ad is.
Mm.
I think the most successful ads are like John trying to makes really funny ads. Just the ones that are like very entertaining, you know?
Yeah.
It's hard to do because people usually just like skip immediately when they realize it's an ad. But like, I don't know. There are ways you can play around with it and make it entertaining.
Yeah.
I think upfront ads usually are very annoying.
Yeah, as soon as
Because
you
I'm
start
just like,
the pod.
because we have to look up Google. We have to use Google a lot for what we do, you know, like tech stuff, you know,
Friggin'
and like when
two
we're like,
bears, one cave.
oh crap, yeah. It's like, oh crap, this thing needs to be fixed in 10 minutes. Let me look up a tutorial real quick. It's like, hey, thank you guys so much. We just hit 100 subscribers. Woo woo! Let's see if we can get this to 100,000 likes. Also, this video is brought to you by, you know, like Factor Meals.
What's 100,000 likes gonna do? Let me tell you. We've gotten videos that have gotten, say, 500 views.
Yeah.
And 20 likes. Like, that's a lot. So why did it stop at 500 views if it's getting all the likes? You know what I mean? Why did the algorithm punish us for having such a likable video? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
So, like, what's the
Oh, it's like, no, like this is just enough to keep them going.
I
For them to
see.
keep creating and
for
keep,
the grind, the never
yeah, dude,
grind.
chasing that carrot on a pole.
Oh, that's very depressing.
No, it's
Yeah,
not. You'll get that carrot eventually. Keep walking.
That's true.
You're right.
Don't sweat.
It
Don't
is mighty
stress.
big.
Yeah, it's a big carrot.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. You okay there, Seth?
Yeah,
See,
Seth,
dude,
there's-
it's all within me just to be like, that's what she said.
wrong with you?
Oh, I would say, well, that's what this show actually devolves into. Is
Okay.
like this type of stuff. So you're in good company.
Okay,
buddy.
good.
You
Tight.
should, you should be on the at night portion eventually. That's when you can really let it rip.
Just let loose.
One of our best episodes I recommend you listen to, Seth, is called "Why Are Women Obsessed with Murder?" I encourage you, one, to listen to it, and two, to bleep out the word murder.
Now that's gonna sound really bad. Why are we obsessed with bleep?
Oh my
No,
gosh.
with quack.
There was so much blood.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's a very good episode. That's like one of our best ones. We talked about how Ted Bundy wouldn't be able to make it in this society because he had to be.
Yeah.
In the age of
honestly.
social media and everybody recording stuff, he would have gotten caught immediately.
Yeah, man. That's the thing.
I don't know, man.
There's no more serial killers.
Well, technically, if you want to get really technical, the Zodiac killer was never caught.
And
You know, it wasn't back there either. Apple phones,
I'm just saying.
cell phones.
I'm just saying. But yeah, well, okay. You know how people are nowadays, like for the Reddit community, they can figure out things like way faster than like the government
Okay,
can.
why
Like,
haven't they caught the Zodiac killer?
exactly. Why?
because it was the government.
That's the big question.
I
because,
put money
like,
down he wasn't real. I bet
usually
you it
people
was
can
a
like
bunch of
figure out
people.
these mysteries online really quickly because like just using all this evidence and factual, you know, like information. But like the Zodiac killer dude, like
No one
No.
caught that guy.
no one caught him. Maybe he
think-
was caught and they didn't know he was a Zodiac killer.
That is true too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That or he was like reformed and was like, you know what? I don't want to
I
like
don't-
mass murder people
Now he's
anymore.
a worship pastor at former worship pastor.
Oh yeah, now sound engineer. I don't even
You know,
know.
and
Farewell
maybe he found the
podcast.
Lord. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, hey, you know what? The Lord can do crazy.
Some people theorize that he's actually multiple people. And
That's
so-
what I was gonna say.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
interesting.
but that's people had crazy conspiracy theories back then too. So
yeah. We should have a crazy conspiracy theory episode.
I'm good. I hate those people so much.
You hate those people?
I hate them.
So do you
Dude.
not like cryptoids or anything?
Who?
Cryptoids. They're like Mothman and
Skinwalkers.
Slender Man, Skinwalkers.
Those are fun, but those aren't real.
Wendigos. Well, no, they're not
Bigfoot?
real.
And
Caleb.
nobody thinks they're real.
Bigfoot.
Oh, I hate Bigfoot.
So nobody thinks
Dude,
Bigfoot's real.
I don't.
Alright.
I don't like Bigfoot either.
Have any of you guys ever seen the show Mountain Monsters?
I've definitely probably seen an ad. On,
I
on
can't. I
TV
think it's on the
before.
Travel Channel.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell
And
us
it's,
about it.
and it's like these Appalachian hicks,
Mhm.
like boonies out. I mean, just like cream of the crop when it comes to like what you think of what a hillbilly would be. It's them,
Yeah.
and like they're hilarious and they're good
Mhm.
guys, but they go out and they chase all of these like mythical beasts,
Mhm.
but the show makes it actually look like the beast is out there. Like
Yeah.
they went and hunted a Sasquatch or something, and it was theatrical. It was so stupid
Yeah.
because it's just like, man, dude, if you're gonna hunt a Bigfoot, like you're like if you come in contact with one, you're dead.
Sure.
Yeah, and they're like rolling out with like their little pea shooter. It's like,
I got him.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. And they're like one of his name.
I wonder if that was a show where like I saw it and like one guy got possessed by Sasquatch. Yes.
That's
Okay.
it. That's
the
it.
one.
That's Mountain Men.
Yeah, that's
I've
Mountain
seen
Man.
that. I've
Because
seen
it
that.
was Buck. That
Yes.
guy. No, it was Huckleberry.
Oh
That
my
guy.
God.
I only saw the one episode.
Yeah,
It was kind of viral, but basically, yeah, like one guy got possessed by freaking Sasquatch, and they're like, "Hucklebuck, are you good?" And
Huck?
he's-
Huck. We gotta go save Huck.
And he's like he's like sitting in the cabin.
Yeah, no, dude, he's like outside.
No,
he's
it's like
just,
Blair Witch style, where
like
he
looking
just like,
out, and he's like, "Ah!" and he's just like freaking out. And then Buck, like the big heavy set kid, comes in and just tackles him into this pond. And they go, "Huckleberry, are you with us?" Is it Huckleberry? What's your name? And he goes, "Huckleberry, but I'm a wet Huckleberry." And it's like so dumb.
There's
Oh
some
my
charm for
God.
that.
Hey,
I love
dude, I
studying that
watched
stuff.
every single episode because it was funny.
Yeah, it is
And it
funny.
was like it was endearing,
Yeah.
and it was just complete nonsense.
Well, to me, I think there's some merit to it because remember how we were talking about the yokai and the mythical
I will
creatures
hurt
and
you if you say there's some merit to Bigfoot.
No, could you please let me finish?
I'm
man?
trying, but you're really
Remember
skirting
that?
the
Do you remember
line
that
here.
episode where we're talking about yokai and mythical creatures, like
Yeah.
odd? And that was a really fun episode.
That was a fun episode.
I feel like we could have a really fun episode talking about like these urban myths, you know, like more closer to home. Because we
As long-
talked about the international ones.
As long
No,
as
I
we
do not
establish-
believe
No.
any of them.
As long
Caleb.
as we establish at the beginning that they are myths.
Or are they?
I come from one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You come
and-
from a myth.
well, yeah. In Crocker, Missouri,
Uh-huh.
is where I grew up,
Yeah.
and there's the legend
Hmm.
of Cry Baby Holler,
Oh.
which was down the road that I
Mhm.
lived on as a kid.
Yeah.
And there it is just what you think, like you go down deep into the woods and then there's just this holler,
Ooh.
like right where this like old like river or creek used to run
Mhm.
through, and it's all just dried up, barren, nothing's there anymore.
Yeah.
And the legend has it is that one day in like the settler times when like,
Mhm.
people were traveling through and traveling in and like making their way through Missouri,
Yeah.
it was a super cold like blizzard and winter in I guess the hills of Missouri, which never really happens anymore.
Yeah.
But they had this the family that was like riding up in their wagons
Mm.
had a baby, and the baby was in the back of the wagon, but the baby fell out,
Mm.
and it was like probably half a mile or like a quarter mile, I don't know, until they figured out the baby's not
Oof.
here anymore. So the mom goes out and looks for the baby
Yeah.
all night, and she can hear the baby screaming and
Whoa.
bawling and crying, but she can never find the baby. And then
Dang.
they both die that night.
That's creepy.
And they
That's a
both-
good story.
They
I
both
like
freeze to
that.
death. And now the legend has it is if you go down to the holler at night, at a certain point of the night or a certain time during the year, you can still hear the baby cry.
That's creepy. I like that.
No, that's a good
And
story
so-
right there. I tell you what.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I'm
And,
sitting here
it's true.
like.
Dude, I
was
love
was
that.
that baby disappears.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just what if it
Yeah.
was me?
man, I love those stories so much. Like
Yeah.
all the urban myths, you know. Because
Oh,
like, here's
yeah.
the thing: each one of them has like a hint of truth to it, whatever it may be. A misunderstanding, obviously, but like, what started that? You know, like what actually was it? And there's some mysteries out there where it's like genuinely, you can't really explain it, and there are enough people to like confirm it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, maybe, you know, like, okay, I cannot confidently say that I know about every single living creature in the world, or like, you know, every occurrence, right? There's so much of the ocean we don't even know. We only explore like 20% of it or something like that, some crazy number like that, which means there's so much room for just mystery of like to unravel. So it's same with how I feel about aliens. Do I believe aliens exist? No, but like, I'm open to the idea,
Right.
you know, like there could be something, because like, who am I to say there's nothing? I don't have any proof to say there's nothing.
Right.
Sure.
Like,
I mean,
I'm not going to say there are, but
even
like,
if there was, it doesn't really change anything.
yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
big whoop.
You could show me legit pictures of the Earth being flat, and I would not believe it.
Well,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
okay, flat. That's like another corner of like the.
I know.
That's
We're
not an
going in
urban
deep,
myth.
boys.
That is not an urban myth. That's what people are like confidently like. Yep. Despite evidence, despite factual, information, we're going to believe in this one thing. And you can argue that about faith too, but like that's a whole other conversation.
we
But,
only got 10 minutes left.
no, I do think that'd be I have a list of cryptoids we can talk about. I think it'd be really interesting later on.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But, yep.
As long as Seth narrates all of them. 'Cause That story hit me on the edge of my seat.
Actually,
Yeah, dude.
you do tell stories very well.
Yeah.
Guys, I am so chock full of either spooky stories like that because the town I grew up in is top 10 for the most haunted places in the US.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I have some creepy stories, but then I also I am chock full of so many stupid small town stories that are just they seem unbelievable.
Yeah.
But like who would make that up kind of stuff.
Sure.
So, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they're all unbelievable in a way.
Right. Yeah.
But
If you guys ever want to have me on for an October podcast,
Okay.
Man,
You know what?
I'll hit you up.
100%. You weren't here
Absolutely.
last time.
I was
for
not.
it.
I was
But
not. I forget what I was doing.
We need a redemption from the Bloody Finger arc.
The bloody finger. Thank you, Tyler.
All right.
Do you have any YouTubers you watch, Seth, that are like, well, okay, how do I phrase this? I don't actively watch these people that embarrass themselves, but I check in on people like, you know, Wings of Redemption is. Do you know who he is?
No.
Really big guy who blames his whole problems on YouTube and streaming,
Yeah.
Oh,
but he keeps doing it. You know what I mean? Because he can't step away from it, but he hates it. And he says he hates it, and he tells his chat that he hates them for making him do this, but he won't make the change. But is there anybody like that?
He's got some fat bastard syndrome.
Yeah.
I can't stop eating. I eat because I'm unhappy, and I'm unhappy because I eat.
The baby.
You know anybody like that, either personally or someone you know, YouTube wise, anything like that?
Yeah. I mean, like I watch other podcasts. I like stand up
Yeah.
comedians and like Theo Vaughn, or I listen to Bill Burr a ton just because that dude is
so much.
so opinionated and comes up with the most wacky
Right.
explanations of things. Like it's not like it's a rough podcast. Like it's
Yeah.
you know, he's got his thing and it works for him. But like any kind of stuff like that, like Theo Vaughn, Shane Gillis, or
I was talking more so
all
like
those
miserable
guys.
people. You watch anybody who's like miserable to look at?
oh man, no, not really. I usually try to stay away from that kind of stuff.
Miserable look.
Yeah,
We were talking about.
I'm more of like just make me laugh and make me happy kind of
Hey,
guy.
I feel better about myself when I'm watching these people.
Now there is a show, the my 800-pound or 600-pound
600
life.
See, that's sad to watch.
Yeah,
That's
so
too
but
much for me.
that makes me feel like a freaking legend.
Yeah.
After I get done watching it, I was like, at least
The
I
weird
can
thing,
walk.
my parents are obsessed with that show. I don't know why, but they always watch it when they eat, like for dinner or something. It's not that I judge Judy, but like 600-pound life, I'm like,
Right.
how can they're getting freaking naked in the showers too, and they don't censor anything because they don't have to
man.
censor anything. I'm just
Oh,
like,
yeah, it's all
They come
covered
with all-
up.
They have their
dude.
censor bar.
that
already.
is no heinous. And then like with every story is the exact same. I'm gonna not say all of them. 99% of them.
Right. Yeah.
They
all
start
trauma.
they start on their journey and then they backtrack and then we
Right.
don't know where they are now. Like legitimately, they get the surgery done and then they can't commit to it. It's like every single time.
How do you not commit to the surgery?
Right. Oh, they commit to the surgery. They just don't commit to like the
I know.
after effects.
Yeah,
And I was like,
exactly.
how do you do that? Because that's so bad for you.
Yeah.
Right.
That's scary. I
Well,
cannot
that's
imagine.
that's the thing, man. It's almost like for a lot of them, it seems like it's a self punishment kind of thing because like they believe they're deserving of it.
I get
Right.
squeamish thinking
Or-
about being that
Yeah,
fat.
like it's almost like a version of self harm,
yeah.
like and just a very
I can see that,
long
yeah.
and drawn out process. You know, where you get to a point where you're like, how did I even get here?
You're just
You know?
self-destructive.
Yeah. I mean, like, dude, I had one of my cousins who I said in the last podcast, they were like my brothers and sisters. Like, she died from obesity.
Mhm.
And it's because she had a lot of stuff that was tucked away that was never talked about.
Yeah.
And, you know, she just created these habits that were, you know, at the time, fine. We didn't realize, like, they're, you know, when you see somebody eating a lot of food, you don't say that, oh, that's wrong. They're hungry.
Yeah.
You know, but if it were like, oh, dude, she won't put the bottle down, it would have been a completely different story. And so it's just like, man, yeah, and it just seems all trauma based and everything like that. So
Yeah.
it's sad.
Maybe it's a good thing that endless shrimp
Yeah.
is done.
Dude, maybe
Yeah.
that's why. Man, we're killing too many people.
See, here's the thing.
This doesn't look good.
There's two versions of those shows.
Not good
though.
PR.
There's two versions of those. There's the one where they get the surgery or they get the help. Same thing with hoarders. Like
Yeah.
there's a show that'll clean their house for them.
Yep.
Then there's the other show where it's like we're just here to watch you suffer. Like we're here to watch your house be
Right.
disgusting, and then that's the end of the episode.
Right.
We're just
This
gonna
is how they live.
point and laugh at you.
Yeah,
The
Like,
thing is,
"Well,
even
who's
though
does
when they
not
clean
us?"
everything for them, that doesn't fix the.
No.
Now, I know more of the show is like talking to them, like why did you become a hoarder, like getting into like their psyche, but just cleaning everything for them obviously doesn't fix everything that's
No,
going to happen
no.
again, like this
No.
mentality thing.
And sometimes when they get into the cleaning, it's scary because like they find possums, they
Oh,
find
yeah.
raccoons
Oh,
in there.
yeah,
It's like
dude.
you had that in
So
your
much.
house.
So much poop.
Yeah,
Right.
everywhere.
So much poo. And then then there's the hoarders that are like, "Don't touch it." And you're like, "Dude, it's poo."
No, but look inside the poo. It's my great grandfather's fancy toenail that I kept because it's my only memory of him. It's like, my gosh,
Yeah.
this is.
I have a problem throwing stuff away, but I really want to know how hoarders like come to this point in their life.
I can't. So, like, here's the
can't.
thing
Mental
with my
illness.
personality type, I think actually it runs into my Enneagram as well. I cannot have clutter in my house, or not my house is kind of clutterish, but my room is not clutterish because I live with roommates. But I cannot have clutter in there not because I just can't stand it, because if I do allow it to pile up, it is so hard for me to backtrack essentially. So that's why like I can't have that much stuff in my room. I don't like
Sure.
clutter at all because
Sure.
I can so easily become not a hoarder, but like someone who just lets everything go. So I'm just like, I need to stay away from that
Yeah,
essentially.
no,
So,
I feel you.
mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
I can let my room get messy, but I mean,
Yeah.
the-
It hurts my mental health and it hurts
Yeah.
my day. I'm just like,
Yeah.
because I know I'm going home to like a mess,
yeah,
like, and that just
I
sucks.
cleaned it the other day, and I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah,
Such
there's
a
that
relief.
sense of relief when everything's clean and you do sleep better. You do
Oh, yeah,
like it's
100%.
weird. Yeah, there's always a point with my house that I'm just like, dang it, today's gonna be a cleaning day. But when I do, I go hard.
Doesn't it suck that you have to do it on a day off of all things?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but it's like for us, if you don't do it on your day off, you're gonna be in there to like show up at 9 o'clock. And you're like, I guess I'll clean the house.
And then your
Yeah.
wife's gonna be like, "Where have you been all day?" And you come home at 2 a.m. I was cleaning all day.
Yeah, seriously.
I need to jump this life.
You're singing again, aren't you?
No, I'm just cleaning. I bet you need to clean up your act, son.
Right. Gosh.
You're cleaning up the audio channels.
Yeah.
No, babe,
seriously.
I promised.
I'm not making music again.
I swear.
Never again. Never in this house.
I
Gosh.
told you I'd leave. I'm sorry, I'm making up stuff for your wife now. I'm a writer too. So anyway, back to Red Lobster.
Why do we always need to come back to Red Lobster?
Dude, Red
I'm just
Lobster freaking slapped when it slapped.
Okay,
And now it doesn't.
here's how they come back.
Now
They-
it's flopping and
They
flamming.
come back as Blue Lobster and they sell frozen meals.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, why did they? What do you think they chose? Like, obviously, lobsters are red.
Oh my gosh.
Violets are blue.
But why do you think
That's
they?
a good poem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
You freestyling. But why? Well, that's all the time we have for today.
I just saw that general just decline. Ooh.
Yeah. Why did they go with Red Lobster? Like,
What-
obviously,
what
I
other-
know they're red, but like, why didn't they pick a fun color? You
Well,
know?
I mean, like, there's that kind of corporate myth where like red makes you hungry. I think that's kind of like a no-brainer. But I will say, yellow. Yeah, you know that, right?
No.
Yeah, so that's why a lot of like restaurants will you can incorporate the color red and
Ooh.
bright yellows. and
Dude,
stuff.
every single restaurant I'm thinking of is
Yeah, red.
red.
Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Wendy's, not Taco Bell. Well, Taco Bell used to have the red bell, but KFC's like that. Yeah, all those places. Now it's
I'm not
again, it's
hungry,
more of a corporate myth, but essentially the color red makes you more hungry.
okay.
And like when you look at a restaurant,
Psychological.
like the giant, like big, bright red, you're like, oh
Chick-fil-A.
yeah, I could do that.
Subway doesn't have red, but I'm noticing. Like, I'm having flashback. Like, oh my god, he's
It's
red.
the same thing I told you about all those episodes ago about cereal boxes. How the not all of them do it anymore, but like a majority of them will. The characters on the cereal boxes, like kids' cereal boxes, their eyes are looking down towards your child to make an emotional connection, so that they want that character more, essentially. Not cereal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you
there's
look
all
at
sorts of stuff.
if
like
you look
that.
at the aisles, like they do that marketing. I love studying marketing and stuff like that. But like if you go down the aisles, all of them are looking down towards your child. A little down and into the right, essentially, straight at your kid. It's not you, crazy.
Okay.
Not
you're
the
gonna,
cereal.
You're gonna be really excited for our guest next week then if he ends up coming.
Oh, yeah.
So he works in marketing and
Oh,
he was
sweet.
telling me all sorts of great
Oh,
stories.
yeah,
like
that's
that.
sick.
Yeah.
I'll be
No.
listening to that one.
Yeah.
No, I'll look up stuff like that all the
Yeah,
time.
please,
It's like, it's
and
crazy.
yeah, bring some of your own because, like,
Mhm.
you know, he's gonna have some stuff to say
Yeah,
about
he'll
it
probably
too.
know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
So again, the red thing, again, that's never been like confirmed, but enough restaurants do it to where it probably works. Like it's probably what it is. So
Okay.
yeah.
So I feel like we alluded to this earlier in the pod. What are you getting at Red Lobster? What are you getting at either Red Lobster or some other fish joint like
Mhm.
Long John Silver's? Like what's
Well, I don't go to
what's
either
the
of those
move for
places,
you?
but when I go to like a seafood restaurant, which is rare because there's not really any good ones around here, but if I had to pick Razoo's, but if I went to Razoo's, I'd probably get a platter because I love just-
platter of
everything. So like a little bit
Okay.
of everything. I love all seafood. That's one of my favorite foods,
a
essentially.
little taste of the sea?
So like we got catfish, we got shrimp, we got hush
Again, not
puppies.
seafood.
Huh?
Catfish is not seafood.
It's usually associated with it
Okay.
though. More occasion. So we got hush puppies, we got the seafood or catfish, flounder, we got the shrimp. So basically a little bit of everything, honestly. Tartar sauce.
I'm with you on that.
yeah.
If we go to like Joe's Crab Shack, or Red Lobster, like I'm getting crab legs no matter what,
Oh yeah.
you know, and then like shrimp to the side.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I like variety when it comes to seafood.
Yeah, if I had to get like one, I'd get a po' boy.
Oh, po' boy.
Do you know what
I know what a po' boy is.
Do you know what po' boys are called, po' boys?
Yes.
Oh really?
Well, how about the audience and this guy who doesn't?
So the reason po' boys are called po' boys is because back then, like back during like Great Depression times, even before that, actually before that, like when immigrants came over, at least in like New Orleans, essentially, that's why it was called this. You couldn't really afford much food, but they were near the docks all the time, so they had plenty of seafood. So essentially, they made these sandwiches out of the seafood called po' boys because they were poor boys.
Yep.
Essentially, that's why they're called po' boys.
Oh,
It's a bit of Creole there. So yeah, shrimp po' boys. Nowadays, po' boys are more like a delicacy where you have to pay like $13, $14 for them.
Yeah,
But originally,
not a rich boy.
it was like like the cheapest food you can get,
Yeah.
and you just get like as much as you want, essentially. So they would pour that shrimp on there.
Middle class po' boy.
Nowadays, you get like
Middle class boy.
you get like I don't know 5 shrimp on a po' boy. And it's like back then, like there was like how like here gas stations you get like mostly Mexican food and stuff.
right.
And last time I went to New Orleans, I discovered this. You get only seafood and fried chicken at every single gas station ever. I'm like, that's amazing. Like good stuff too. And when you ask for a po' boy, they load it on there because they know that's what a po' boy is supposed to be. Like it's how my people survived.
What do you
Nice.
mean, you people?
You, what do you mean, you people?
All right. Well, I guess we should cut it there. It's the hour mark. Seth, thanks again for hopping on. I'm glad we
yeah,
got
man.
this
Thanks
done.
for having
Good
me.
to have you.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Hopefully next week doesn't fall through because we got a great guest on, marketing guy, a good friend of mine.
This would be
Who's
really
also-
embarrassing if it doesn't happen.
I know. Yeah, it's like cut. So
Good marketing though.
yeah, good marketing. Hey, you know what I mean? I got the mask on. I'm looking down at the kids. I want them to form an emotional.
We're
I want to
changing.
form an emotional
Yeah.
connection with your
We're
kids.
changing our color
Dude,
to
that's
red.
yeah,
instead of yellow.
that needs to be the new
Yeah.
The thumbnail?
Thumbnail.
Are you hungry yet? How about
I'm doing it
now?
Okay.
Consume our podcast.
Sweet.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all next week. Thanks for hopping on. Thanks for joining us, guys. I hope you all had a good time like I did.
Tally ho.
See ya.
Bye.